Yeshadas, we're back in my basement. We didn't really go anywhere at all. Lots of stuff happening. Some systems went out. Some stuff is kind of working, not really working. So I have this motherboard that kind of works when it's a DX25, but that's all it can do. Which is not going to be very good for the tests that we're doing now. So this is the third test of whatever's in this machine. I don't even know. I think it's a 512K of some sort. The exact same 8900D Trident. And the TSENG. And also, hang on a second, I forgot the most important part of it. What did I do with... yes, here we go. There we go. Yes, this. Beautiful, brand new. Well, brand new. I have the box for this thing. It is an ATi Wonder. It was originally a 256K. It's now a 512K. I added those 10. That's 100 nanosecond chips. There are 120 nanoseconds on the board. This is a dual head with a bus mouse. I found the box for this. I found the discs for it. And I'm actually trying to build the 386 of my childhood. And honestly, whichever one of these are better is going in there. I'm hoping it'll be the Trident or the TSENG. Because I just remember mine had dual head on it. Dual heads, and that's it. So we're going to do a quick comparison on a system that kind of is what I am aiming for. This is a SX33. I'm aiming for a DX20, so the performance won't be that far off by bus limitations and all that stuff. Got some alcohol right here. It's not for ingestion. I don't think I'd want to. I think I have some Q-tips. We're going to be testing some floppy drives at the end of the video. So I got some nicely packaged floppy drives here while they were in these, those things, and now they're out. So I think we should just go ahead and start the test. This is a late 386 with baby AT board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the error code it gives me? Keyboard not found, or what do we got here? CMOS memory size mismatch. Yes, I did mess with that previously. So we will go there, and basically what I did is I turned on the shadow RAM, because this thing has no cache in it, so we're trying to give it as much power as we can. So we're going to write to CMOS and exit. Oh, and I think the bulk of the attention is now going to be focused on this screen here. So there's our RAM count. It's floppy seek, secondary floppy seek. We'll be checking the floppies afterwards. I'm not worried about it for the time being. So we're booting off my 212 meg hard drive. That's just, I don't know, I just wanted to test it. Maybe I'll format it and see what's going on with it. The hard drive that's in here is an IBM hard drive, also works well. So none of this stuff's going to work because it's for a completely different system, but it boots into DOS. So I think let's see what it is first. What do we have here on the directory? Do we have NSSI? Let's see if NSSI will actually take. It doesn't like EMM386 sometimes. So we'll see if what we can get here. My date is invalid. It doesn't think it's 2024. Okay, so we're going to look at, what are we looking at? Okay, so it's an ATi VGA of 256K or more. So basically, it's a 386-33. And let's see how it does. Yeah, okay, so it's about on par between a DX25 and a DX33. That sounds about right. Does the turbo button work on this one? I forget. It does. All right, so when you turn the turbo button off, it knocks itself down to between an SX16 and a DX20, maybe like an SX20, right? So it's pretty good for 286 compatibility. If you want to clock it down, you can. What are we doing? we are going to see what kind of, okay, so we basically, this is what's in the system. And now we're going to see what kind of video card this is. Or, I mean, actually, I don't even know what kind of video card this is. Like, it's a 512K, I can see that from here, but I don't know much about it. Hardware info, maybe tell me. Let's see what it says. So this program's not always the greatest. Sometimes it. Okay, seems like it's working. Video info. What do we got for me here? ATi 2884. All right. So we're going to write that down at the top of the page. Video cards out of the way very carefully. Be careful not to smack them around. So this is ATi Wonder XL. Okay, so we're just going to put XL here on this paper. My hand right here. XL. All right, 512. All right, well, let's put it through its paces because it's already in there. Why not? Otherwise, I wouldn't even have bothered. Benchmark 2. 3 bench. Some of these require switches, so if I fail at them as I'm doing them, we shall see. Well, that's fast. Oh, yeah. Look at that countdown go. Baby. That's one fast ATi. Let's speeden up a little bit here. Okay. I guess it doesn't have to do so much calculations on the letters. I'm going to guess... what is this? 3D bench? Okay. Excel 3D bench. Your score is going to be, I'm going to guess about 25 frames per second. 23, 22, 22, 20, 21 is my final answer. Oh, less than that. 9.5. 9.5. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, half of it, I suppose. All right, what other benchmarks do we have on here? dir.exe, PCP bench. I have to do that and we're going to do them all in VGA mode at this point. Otherwise, it will not be a fair comparison, especially considering the system that I'm trying to build around this. It's going to be like, well, I'd like a DX20, an SX33. That's fine. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's see, this is PCPlayer. We are getting a benchmark score of, I don't even know. I can't run Chris's bench on this because it doesn't have a coprocessor, which sucks because the SX16 that would have been my computer in another life would have had it. All right, PC 2.0. All right, whatever. 2.0. I think there's a couple more that we can run on here. Sysinfo Speed 600 PCP bench, top bench. We just ran PCP bench, did we not? I think we did. All right, Speed 600. Not sure what that is. I think I ran it earlier. Oh, landmark. Okay. Okay, so the landmark is 202,642.58 characters per millisecond. I mean, I'm sure that would have made sense in the Hercules times, but all right, what else do we got on here? Can we do a sys? Can sysinfo? I think sysinfo does some rudimentary CPU speed, overall performance index. I don't think it does video. What does it say that it is? System summary. 33 megahertz. Okay, yeah. SX. Yeah, I got both drives in there. Okay, so the CPU speed. Let's see how we do. This computer is way faster than a 286. About 5/8 of the speed of a real DX33, which is actually what it should be doing. Turbo off, it's closer to a double A286-8. Okay, good. So that's fine, I suppose. I mean, it works. It's stable. Sysinfo top bench. Top bench will probably tell us something else as well. Okay, can I just do it? More than one database for this to be useful. I guess I didn't build up a database. I don't think I have the data for it, unless it's in system-1. The indexes are in there. Do I care to do it? It looks like a pure character benchmark. Okay, so we got something going here. All right. Well, I mean, in terms of FPS, it's not in a 40. It's in a 386 system, so it's in its element. So let's take out this XL video card. Turn this off. Refocus the camera over here. Fortunately, this is kind of an inopportune spot, so I'm going to disconnect that COM2 header, pull this video card out. I'm not going to bother to put that screw back in because this motherboard is coming out completely eventually. Anyways, all right, what was it that we tested? Okay, well, a VGA charger apparently. Okay, so that's probably the weakest of all the cards. I guess we can put the 8900B in there. You know, a lot of people, a lot of nerds busting my balls about, you know, how dare you compare the ET4000 to a lowly 8900. I found results online that show that even in 1991, this video card was ever so slightly better, and there are benchmarks on there that prove that it is. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. The goal for tonight is to figure out which of these cards is faster, the ATi or the SENG. I'm hoping it's the SENG because I want to sell this one because I have a whole box for it, all the floppies, everything. I got the bus mouse for it, original box, all that stuff. So, yeah, let's have a look at what we're doing here. Benchmark 2. And we're going to start off with 3D Bench. Now that is already looking slightly better. The countdown's a lot faster. And it's only going to speed up from here. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm not super impressed. I'm going to say, I don't know, 11 frames per second. Sorry, so this is the, let me write this down, 8900D DRAM version, and I do have an NVRAM version. And what does the bus tell us? Bus limitation 9.9, so slightly better. Okay, 9.9. Slightly better than, okay, well, I guess it depends what system it's going into. PCP bench, it was at VGA mode. I hope I got the switch right. At such a low frame rate, I can't really tell what's better. Might as well card up the next ones here. Next, we're going to check the that's a beautiful card, though. Wow. It almost looks brand new. Like there's barely any pin scarring on it. Anyways, PCP bench on this card got also a 2.0, which is probably some sort of minimum. I don't know. But it is the environment that I want it to be in. And the last, the Speed 600. I think the characters, I think this is just a waste of time. The landmark's going to be the same. Oh, no, way more. Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. 4,772.04 characters per millisecond. All right, so significant increase over the 8900. There, we'll go back to here. Remove the 8900 with 80 nanosecond memory all across. What's the production date on those? 53rd week of. Oh, what? Oh, they're different. Oh, yeah. 18th week of 91. Okay, so this is all like era correct stuff. Now we're going to put in the ATi Wonder, which came with 256K of memory, which I added another 256K of. And what is the? These are. I have a mixture of NEC Ireland and NEC Japan chips on here, with date codes from 1995 to 88. They all seem to be alternating between. Most of them are 95. There's a 96 from Ireland. The Irish ones are newer ones, and there's one Japanese one. That's from 88. Everything else is from 95. Awesome. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, this one has been in my personal 386 for like 6 years now. And I don't know. Do I want to let it go? We'll see. We'll see how it does. All right, the card is in. Let's fire up the system. This is all era correct too. It's like 92. Oh, this is actually quite a late 386 board. Like summer of 92. I mean, you had already the DX266 coming out from the 486 era. The first thing we're doing is, well, we're going to put this card down as Wonder 512K. It's a good thing that we have another XL 512K because, I mean, the first card that was in here is probably based on this card. So, anyways, let's do the 3D bench. I'm not expecting spectacular results from this, but we'll see. I'm going to say about, you know what, same as the first one, 9 frames per second. I mean, on such low performing hardware, I don't see how this could possibly get any worse than 8 frames per second. That's not doing too bad. Speaking of which, there is a jumper on this. .2. All right, 8.2. That's like 386 SX16 era stuff. All right, let's do a PCPlayer. If I was smart, I'd write a bunch of batch files before this, but it is what it is. So, yeah. I'm going to guess 2.0. I'm going to guess they're all 2.0. All right, the next one is the TSENG T. $1.9. Okay, well that I guess there's some sort of lower score. I have to cross myself out there. All right, and let's do the characters per second bit. You know what? I believe that has a lot to do with the. Actually, I'm pretty sure it has everything to do with the speed of the memory. So what are we doing? Top bench sysinfo speed 600. Again, perfectly fine for the computer. Okay, so 15.66. So this, okay, you got to understand. This card came in the 386 SX16 with 256K. Actually, you know what? I'm tempted to throw a fifth contender into here. Let's see how it does against the 8800. The 8800 would probably be just a pile of garbage anyways. But I think the main limitation of this card is the 120 nanosecond RAM on it. Again, if you have a high-end 286, a SX20, SX16 386, you know, even a DX16, this would be perfect. It's the first version of the card. I mean, this thing is mint. Oh, it's made in Canada, of course. ATi at the time, right there. Made in Canada, yeah. I'm not really throwing it out there. I got Brazilian chips on here. I've got Irish chips. I've got Japanese chips on here. Anyways, it works, and it works well enough for what it is. All right, well, the last contender, the venerable TSENG ET4000AX. I think that maybe, just looking at this for a bit. So these switches control the EGA. Oh, I'm missing a little, whatever that thing is, the bolt nut thing. All right, well, with the noise of the water flowing down the pipe beside me and also the HVAC system pumping up, I'm going to just put this in and see what is going on. Although I am actually kind of curious, I might actually extend this and go get the Trident 8800. See how that one does on this type of system. All right, so that's in. So now let's refocus our attention to that. Okay, let's do the same tests that we always do. The first one is 3D bench. I'm bleeding. Nice. Must be from handling all that Canadian solder. Yes, yes. Right, and in the meantime, I actually did find the 256K Trident TVGA 880 CS, which I did a test on like a couple days ago. So, I mean, unless I use it as a doorstop, I don't see how I could have lost this. Okay, we're going to test this one next just for smiles and gluttony, whatever. Trying to be clever here, but not really making a good deal of sense. All right, TS880. What do we have here for this? Actually, this doesn't look too bad. I don't know, 10 frames per second, maybe like 11. $9.5. $9.5. Okay, so the Trident 8900D wins again. Jesus, it's like I could have bet my life savings on this, although I don't think I would have done that. But yeah, okay, PCPlayer is next. I'm going to assume it's just going to be 2. Honestly, there's no way to tell such small decimal places at this point. $2.0. Yep. All right, and the final thing is the. I like how this motherboard's taking all this without a care in the world. What do we have here? Speed 600. I think this will be quick. I think this will be the quickest. No! Wow! That's interesting. 3181 by 836 characters per millisecond, as long as I can understand that. That's actually, well, that's faster than the original 512K card that was in there, which, I mean, memory I know doesn't matter, but the 8900D is killing it. Killing it. Wow. All right. Well, cool. So, I mean, I'm going to keep this because it's slightly faster. Here, let me put this back down here. I'm going to keep this because it's slightly faster than the ATi. And, I mean, I don't know, nerd cred? I have no idea. 1 meg of RAM. 1 meg of RAM. I have a 19-inch monitor that I can actually run high-resolution graphics on with this. 800 by 600 by 256, maybe even by 32K. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this one. That one's a keeper. But only just, because, I mean, I've had this for a while. This one has a bus mouse port. But you know what, also, I'm also tight on space because I have, like, multiple retro systems. So do I need to run a special bus mouse beside my computer when I can just run everything through the KVM like a normal person would have done in the 90s? Because, of course, somebody in the 90s would have had multiple x86 systems and wanted to run them through a KVM through one high-resolution monitor. Anyways, yeah, okay, I think my mind is made. But for literally snouts and gibbles, I'm going to find that. What do I do with that card? I will decide to put back into the system. But yeah, like I literally just showed that off, and oh, it's down here? It's down here. All right, I put it back in the anti-static bag, yeah. This 256K Trident TVGA 880 CS. What are the date codes I'm seeing on here? 35th week of 89, 30th week of 89, 5th week of 89. So, an 89 card. This card would, I think it would sub-perform in this kind of system. This card is for like a low-end 286, maybe even an XT. Not very. Oh, let's move the image over there. So this is the last contender. I suppose I assume it will do the worst. It'll probably do very poorly. Now, this is no substitute for real-world use. I mean, I've read on the forums and, well, the forums, I just read a bunch of stuff about, like, the way that the screen is accessed. I remember TVGA in Windows TVGA, Trident, like, it kind of, like, you can see it, like, redrawing the screen, but, like, on an angle, and it was, like, it's all weird. And people complain about that. But I'm doing DOS tests right now, and for a 386, a lot of the stuff's going to be DOS-based. But sometimes there's issues of artifacting and it not working correctly. So I don't know. I mean, it depends. In my personal perspective, I'm trying to build a mid-grade 386 machine. So I'm probably going to stick with this with the TSENG. Only because viewers, I have the box, the mouse, the software, the original shrink wrap. Well, I don't have the shrink wrap, but everything. If I didn't have that, I'd honestly probably keep the ATi because it's more than a 386 needs. You don't need a meg of RAM, video RAM in a 386 unless it's like a DX33 or something. But all right, so here we go. What are we doing? We are doing 3D bench. I do not have high hopes for this. It's taken off like an illusion, slowly but surely. Well, actually, surely is, well, niet tavarish. It takes off. I don't know. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Actually, it's not too bad. Keep in mind, this is a higher end CPU in here, for what it is. 8.2. Okay, yeah. You know what? Well, it's just same as it's the same as the Wonder. Okay, 8.2. Not. I mean, I don't know. You can't play Doom on this anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, PCPlayer. What did I type wrong here? Oh, PCP bench. I'm going to just assume it's going to be a 1.9. Alright, and we're going to get to a score of, let us see, 1.9. I already wrote it down. Don't need to write it down again. Nice, nice. What's the next one? Speed 600. I'm going to assume it's probably based on the same chipset, so it's going to be the same as 15 point. It's just slightly faster. Okay, so LM is 1575.38. All right, so okay. I'm gonna digitize these after I'm done. The overall winner is, based on 3D Bench, well, actually, let me just do some rough calculations here. PCPlayer doesn't take any account into it. Landmark, I mean, there's variances, and they're pretty big. Oh, actually, sorry. I can't see this anyways, but I promise I'll digitize this. PCPlayer, anywhere between 2 and 1.9. No real difference. I think that thing is more for like a 46 benchmark. The stock card that was in there, which the system came with, which was that ATi 512K. Was it 1116680? I don't know. You can rewind it and find it yourself. Sorry, I'm not gonna. It's in there. I don't want to trouble the cards. So that one's got 9.5. The 8900 does 9.9. Wait, what am I talking about? 3D Bench. Yeah, the XL was in there. 9.5, 9.9, 8.2, 9.5, 8.7. So the SENG and the XL, ATi XL. Sorry, it's right here. 2880. It seems like that's a modem, I guess. I'm kidding. 2800. Anyways, those are on par. The Trident 8880 and the Wonder 512K are on par. And the 8900 Trident, I wouldn't say it blows it out of the water, but it does. It's the best. PCPlayer, like I said, doesn't make a difference. Landmark scores for the XL were 2642. 8900 again takes the leading score with 4772. Wonder is about on par with the TS880. And the SENG is kind of like not so good there with the 30. I might even just put the 8900 in my 386. Although I do want that dual output for EGA for some reason. I don't know why. It's not going to make that much of a difference. Honestly, if you put this card in a DX20, DX25, SX16, SX, especially if you go down to the lower, it's not really going to make a big difference. These are all decent cars that are on par. I mean, the 8900, I was told that it's double buffering or something with the memory that makes it work faster. On such a system, you're not going to notice a big difference. Anyways, all these cards work. Now, if you're tired, shut it off right now, because all I'm going to do right now is test a bunch of floppy drives. So, buenas noches, and I don't know, maybe I'll make another vid. Yeah, I'll just make another vid. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's just keep going. Okay, so everything is set up. We have a floppy drive in here. These two were sent back to me because they failed. This one was pulled out of a Sempron I sent out yesterday. This one, I'm a dumbass and I dropped on the floor. So, yeah, we'll see how well that works. I got some alcohol and I got some Q-tips. And I know this one doesn't work, so let's see how well it doesn't work. Sacrificial disc. Yes, I got one right here. So this is the B drive on the system. That's even having a hard time going in. That is definitely not what she said. Or maybe she did. I don't know. You know what? I don't judge. I mean, I do, but not in that regard. Oh, it sees it. File not found. Okay, so let's copy something to it. I don't know. Let's copy NSSI to it. Yep, and then we'll run NSSI off of it. In fact, at this point, I think we'll just show you the screen. So copy. Let's see NSSI. It's a great utility, actually. We'll copy all that. B. All right. File ID is. I'm not even actually sure what that is. It's a Windows 98 thing. See the heads moving back and forth. In case you're wondering, that's an orange pop. All right, B drive and SSI. Giving this motherboard a good workout at the very least. It's going to take some time. It's running off a floppy. Next, actually, you don't even need to turn off these computers to do the swappy flop. You just do it. But I want to put the. Well, actually, I don't even need to put the card back in because all this shite is coming out. Okay, I'm fairly confident this floppy drive is working. That's fine. That's an error. It doesn't think that the date is correct. It's looking pretty sharp, though. Yeah, this is, I mean, I'll say one thing. The Trident, as much as I want to keep it, and I will, this guy right here, when you plug this into an LCD, it's kind of like, it's got this weird trash flying around. There might be some sync signals or something. This 8800 CS is, the color is rich. Like, I almost want to just dive into it. It's nice. Okay, so this floppy drive works. Let's go back over here. This was one I own. I got the same writing that I had in high school. Or I guess that's middle school. Wow. Okay, now let's get on to the real test of floppy drives. Okay. Apparently one of these made like a horrific noise. I wouldn't say apparently. I was witness to it via video. So let's see. Maybe the transport over here from Montreal made a bit of a impact on it. Putting that in. Move over there. Seek seems okay. This get is loaded. Doesn't look good. General failure. That's the worst kind of failure. What kind of failure you have? I don't know, just a general failure. Going to the doctor. Hey, what's wrong with you? I don't know, just a general what's wrong with me. Not even any focused points on what it could be. I just generally feel like crap. All right, we're gonna pop this open. If it was a seek failure or something like that, I can pardon it. That screw is stripped. So So we're going to do the right thing. I'm going to just pop off the head anyway. Oh, I see a September 92 date of void if removed. The red LED seems to indicate this is a Mitsumi drive, which is, I mean, I guess it's all right, but so we're just going to do that. Ah, there we go. That's what I was counting on. Nice. So if you just take the case off and then swing this around. Now, what I highly recommend is doing this on a computer that's on, so that you can drop the screw right under the motherboard and short a bunch of stuff out. That's what I recommend. It's beautiful. If you're quick, a quick fella, I'd have a weapon under there. I'd have to pin his head to the panel. Okay, if that ever goes back on. All right, general failure usually means something bad. I just can't read the disc. Literally, that's what it means. I just can't read the disc. Things you want to might check for is I'm not Adrian Black. I don't have like zoom in capabilities. And if you pull the heads ribbon out, top and bottom head. So I've started to keep these drives for the very reason that one might have a failed read-write head. One might have a failed motor, and you can make 2 out of 1. And that's how Jed survived through college, by combining several Hyundai ponies into one. Still have a pony made of several Hyundai ponies. Yeah, anyways. Let's see if that did anything. Retry. Oops, gotta put the disc in. Retry. I wonder if this is a 720K drive. I don't think so, but it could be. But that guy said it worked before, so. All right, we're going to do the old alcohol swab. Isopropyl. I don't know. I like to pour it into the cap, or maybe not. The cap looks kind of drunk. All right, we'll do it this way. Okay, got some in there. Now, if this does work, I find that it's like, oh, it's good now, but 6 months later, it's going to be bad again. And there's other times where it's actually this cleaned all the broken. Oh, wow, there's a lot of crap on there. Okay, might work. General failure, I think it'll be a general failure to end with, but let's see what happens. Now the problem is I don't have any more 720K. Oh wait, there's one right here. I sold all my 720K diskettes, so I don't know. Sometimes it's a drive issue. Sorry, it's a format issue. All right, let's retry that. I generally find that the 720K diskettes are very much more robust than the. Yeah, I think this drive is just done for. Now, I don't know, what time is it? It's only 9? Okay, I got some time. Sometimes these heads get all loose and stuff. Obviously, you can only access the top of the head. And I don't want to use one of my rare 720K discs, because I sold them all, to test this theory. But sometimes you can, and this is from Commodore 1541 times. You can kind of loosen them and then slightly. It's not loose enough. Again, there's no guaranteeing that. I mean, I've got these to read the directory like this before. Wow, it's really tight up there. Because, you know, the outer track is the easiest one to read. Or is it? I don't know. See, so I just moved it a whole bunch. I don't know if this is going to work, but sometimes it does. Sometimes you get lucky with it. I mean, there's a couple tricks you can try to advance the motor, the worm gear, by hand, and if you hit retry, and it's trying. So it's trying to find. So it's likely a head failure. I don't know. I don't have an oscilloscope. I don't have an oscilloscope, but I can tell you for sure that I have by hand realigned these like that. The problem is they're fine for here, but the second you put them in a box and you ship them out like this, done. Yeah, so again, I've stopped throwing these out because I reckon that I'll eventually find some that have damaged heads, some that have motors that don't work. The next drive should be the last one. Should be the one that tells me what's wrong with it. The noise I heard was atrocious. The man sent me a video. It was very bad. Okay, so January, what is it, 3rd, 24. Anybody would be putting the date of 2024 on a floppy diskette. Wow. Anyways, general failure. I will know what that means. That one's going to accompany its brethren. And boy, does it have a lot of brethren. Okay, there's the next one. This one was tested by me. Okay, on August 13th, 2023, which was what, by my reckoning, a quarter ago? And this is the replacement drive I'm sending out. Trust me, it works. I loaded DOS onto this computer. No, the other DX25 with it. This is one that came out of I'll start popping it open now. A Sempron. This is a late 2004 system. So when the floppy drives got really crappy, to be honest, the quality is it's much lighter. It's flimsier. Everything is cheaper. It's not well. I mean, the dust is the dust, but yeah. All right, so. But now we're talking about this system, so let's put a diskette into it, or this drive. Let's put a diskette into it and B colon. Read it. Oh, it does! Oh my god, it reads it! What? I guess Panasonic strikes again. All right, DIR. Okay, well, I've literally done nothing to this drive. I have literally taken it out of the package and put it back. Put it into this computer. NSSI. Okay. All right, well, while that's doing its thing, let's go back over here and examine this mid-2000s drive. Probably one of the very last drives that they've made. So, a bit of dust. The worm gear assembly is about the same. The heads, I don't think they would have cheaped out on that, although they now are using torque spits. That's interesting. The motor mechanism does work. We'll test that one next. Hey, this diskette drive is completely 100%. There is nothing wrong with it. It just loaded an SSI from itself. All right, well. It is a Panasonic drive, which is, I would say, like lower middle tier. So it could experience problems, but the video that I've seen this thing doing was making a ton of noise. Just a garbage amount of noise. And you know, all right, so that one's going back. That one's getting sent back as okay. I mean, I'll probably do a couple more tests to it, but the other one was, you know what? When I see a red LED on a floppy drive, I'm kind of like, oh, that's old. When I see a yellow LED, it's like, mid to late 80s. When I see a green LED, it's like, oh, shit started to get cheaper. And that's exactly what is. And I saw a blue LED once in a floppy drive, and that thing didn't work at all. So just to put a diskette in there, system's booting. We're going to run an SSI off that floppy drive. That's the B drive in this case. So I think you just run it, right? It just goes. All right, it goes, boys. All right, so I'm going to just start putting my drives away. All right, so that's the black-faced Alps drive, which Alps is a very good. Yeah, your date's wrong. I know. Alps is a very good drives manufacturer, at least when it came from the 80s when they did Commodore stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, this works. All right, so there we go. All right, you got two drives. I don't even need to turn this on. I just shut it down. What are we rolling on? About an hour here? All right, we're going to do a super quick test. Okay, so these are good drives. These are going back. These are going back. These two are going back. I guess I'll put. This is something I pulled out of a Sempron real quick. It being a Wednesday, I'm going to stop it after this one. I got a bunch more stuff to do, but I think we've proven three things here today. That this motherboard is great. What else? Oh, right, that the ATi video card works, and all of them work, and we've done some benchmarks. And that some floppy drives work and some do not. Okay, so here we have a not ready read error. Oh, put a disk in it, dumbass. All right, retry. And it works. With me just taking the cover off and throwing some dust through it. Now, mind you, this was out of a system, a Sempron system, which means like late 2005. So what I'm going to do is clear it up with alcohol anyways, because I've got it open. And if I can find the chair oil, I'll put it on there. So it's just this. The camera pointing properly. Okay. All right. And just a little bit there. A little bit there. A little bit there again. A little bit there again. And that's it. For the grease part. Where is my chair oil? Don't seem to have any chair oil available. But that's okay, because this drive made minimal noise. So let's put this diskette back in, and we will run an SSI off of it. Yep, same date error. Not a problem. I'm okay with that. All right, so it successfully ran a file. I mean, this diskette drive is less than 20 years old, whereas some of the ones in this pile here are 93. Oh, D, that's even older. 87? Sony, oh yeah, this one. This one's, you know what, I want to test that one. I'm going to see why this one failed. I'll label this one as okay, January 3rd, 24. This one was out of my personal MMX, which I did a nice bunch of swaps to. Put the, I don't want to confuse that with the others. Bunch of swaps with ATX power supply, 10,000 RPM hard drive. Put in a, what else did I put in there? Put in a bunch of active cooling in it because I overclocked it. ZIP 100 drives. So this came out of it. The only reason I wanted to keep it, and I didn't actually throw this drive into the actual trash, because it has the word Sony written on it, and I thought that was really cool. So his heads look a lot smaller. Hey, where's that? Ah, there it is. I'm going to use the other end of this. Oh, it's got a lot of grease on the... well, that's actually... If you look at the motor, which you can't see... Hold on a second. Let me bring that motor up to you. Look at the worm gear. It's like nylon in there. Like, did they try to make that longevity go up? So I don't really know what cleaning the heads would do, because I know the environment that I took this out of. It wasn't subject to stress or heat, cold, or anything. Like, this was in a normal room in a house. Too humid. Oh, right. What? Get out. Get out. Run something. Oh, it's loud. Don't. I might need to grease that, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit knocky. It's a bit knocky. I'm gonna have to go get some wheel bearing grease. Although it does seem to, I mean, it loaded it. Okay, great. I mean, shit. All right, spare you the trouble of going through the next 3 drives. I'm just gonna shut her down and grease it and start it up again. Anyways, yes. So I guess the hard drive works for my intents and purposes. I guess the motherboard works for Ray's intents and purposes. I might want to do some experiments with the I/O card. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's enough for me for tonight. Dobranoc, do widzenia, and we'll see you on the next one.